Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to the Aesthetes Elusive Target Arcade contract. Completing this will unlock the Shashka A33 gold, and that is what we're aiming for. So all 3 levels will be done on Assassin as usual, and we'll be doing it with the default equipment with an optimized route and loadout in the future video. So for this one it's going to be a default loadout. Level 1 is going to be the Warlord, and the complication for this is we have to make sure we take all the targets out with a lethal melee. And with this first target, it doesn't really deviate, it doesn't change anything, because there's a lethal melee right next to the target where you take her out anyway. So from the very start, what we're going to do is talk to this receptionist. He's going to give you a key card. That's to 47's room, and we're going to go straight there. We need to acquire ourselves a disguise. That's going to help us out quite a lot for the Warlord. I think this is the first time the Warlord's made an appearance in Hitman 3. So I would assume that a year 2 version of the Warlord will come soon. Or maybe even a year 3. Use the keycard on your door and use this phone for the room service. That's going to call 2 hotel staff members, a male and a female. We're going to knock them both out, and then we're going to take a disguise. This will allow us to freely go around the floor where the target actually is. So 47 could lead them into the bathroom, or he leads them into the bedroom. One or the other. Either way, it doesn't matter. So we're going to take out the woman first. Wait for the guy to walk away. A little bit of a gap. There we go. Subdue the lady. Just drag her away from the door. And then knock out this guy right here as well. Once you've done that, go ahead and take his disguise. So there's a lethal melee there on the table, which is a letter opener. But we're not going to use that anyway. What we're actually going to do is use a machete. So, because there's going to be one right next to the target. So on this floor, you're free to roam around. There's a couple of enforcers on here, including the target. So you just need to be careful for that. So what we're going to do is head straight upstairs and wait in the room for her, because she does come upstairs and she does come in this room and she will be alone. And but she won't be alone for long. So you've got a little bit of time. But this is the machete I was talking about. She's going to be coming in this room, and she'll be standing around about here. And this is where we're going to take her out. So for now, I'm just going to wait in this closet. Keep an eye on your minimap for a group of people coming up the stairs, and you'll notice when the target's about to come up. It's around about the 4-minute mark. I'm going to skip to that point. Now what you could do in the meantime as well, you could actually go back downstairs if you'd like. Go to the southwestern room downstairs, just 1 floor, and there will be an evidence recording there. So you could take that out if you'd like. But yeah, around the 4-minute mark, the target does come in the room, and she's not on her own for too long. So just make sure you do this quickly. Take her out with a machete. She drops a key on the floor. Make sure you pick that up. It's an important item. I'm going to drop it right now because it's an illegal item. So just going to be careful on the way out as well, because there's a couple of enforcers around. But yeah, just this floor here I was mentioning. On this floor, if you go to the... I think it's actually the southwestern room, actually. So it's the room on the far right, so the back. But yeah, there's an evidence recordings there if you want to take that out. But I didn't do it on this occasion, so I'm going to have to take it out a little bit later on. So not to worry, it doesn't really matter too much, but it just makes things a little bit easier if you did that. Now, I'd like to cross the landing there, but because there's a hotel manager there, she's an enforcer to pretty much all disguises. So we're going to go around the other way. Just be careful of that enforcer there as well. But once we pass through this section, we're going to come into this room here. On the opposite side of the room, there's going to be a hammer. Go grab that. Take out the coin. Open the door. And throw a coin inside the room. That's going to distract the guard that's just out in the lobby. I'm going to take him out real quick. Take his disguise and pick up his weapon as well. We need that. We're just going to put him in the locker, because there's 2 NPCs that do pass through here, so I have to make sure we hide him. Put his disguise on. Again, make sure you pick up his weapon. Now you can avoid the cameras at this point if you don't want to deal with the hassle of taking them out, but it's up to you. It doesn't really matter for these two because we're going to take them out anyway. So we're going on one floor, and in this room here there's going to be a master key card just on the opposite side, so grab that. I'm going to use this to get into the security room. Now sometimes the door's wide open just like this, but on the occasion it's not, best to use the key card. There's one enforcer in here for this disguise. He does make things a little bit tricky, but you just have to make sure you time everything right. So he's standing right in front of the evidence recordings right now. So we're going to wait for him to move back towards the other guards. And then what we're going to do is go up to these security guards, these soldiers in the corner, and we're going to drop both pistols that we have in our inventory. So why do you do that? So you do on your inventory, highlight the weapon that you've got, and just push the drop button. So whatever your button is to drop item, highlight both weapons. So just, you know, make sure it's on the screen. Click drop item on both weapons. It will drop both weapons then, and then you will have these two soldiers here. Grab them, and then walk out the room. Now if you time it right as well, you can just take out the evidence right here. I would recommend staying crouched for this. You could time this a little bit better as well. I did take a little bit of a risk there, because that security guard was looking straight at me. Okay. So you might want to just take that a little bit more slower than I did. But once you've done that, just make sure you avoid any enforcers on the way out. There's one at the front. Just be careful of him. I almost got caught by him actually because I completely forgot about him. Wasn't paying much attention at this point. I think I was just busy listening to music. But yeah, I'm just going to run straight to the exits and we're done. So, all bodies are hidden. I've got nothing to worry about at this point. We're all good. So that was the Warlord. So if you've never played on Hitman 3 before, I wouldn't say it's the easiest elusive target, but it's not too bad. It's just the optional objective is a bit of a... Well, it's not an optional objective, you have to do it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that objective, especially when the inner wheel really get in that room is that key card there. It's just, I don't like it. Too many guards and everything. But that is how you do the Warlord with a silent assassin rating. All the optional objectives complete. So moving on to level 2. Level 2 we have the Ex-Dictator. He is also in Bangkok as well. So we have 2 targets. We're going to start at the Riverside Landing once again. And default loadout as usual. And we're going to take out both targets with a melee weapon. And my weapon of choice is this one. It's going to be a kitchen knife. So first thing we're going to do is run straight upstairs to the restaurant area. We're going to get ourselves a waiter's disguise. So come through this door on your left, close it behind you, take out your coin and throw it just in front of that freezer right there. Grab the coconut, pick up the coin, take the coconut out of your inventory, and once he comes around here, smack him in the back of the head, knocking him out, hide him in the freezer and take his disguise. The next room you go into is going to be 2 enforcers in there, but there is a knife right on the table. Just need to be careful picking this up. It is quite risky, so you'd make sure this waiter here is in this position before you attempt it. Stay crouched. As soon as you grab it, put it away as well, because it's an illegal item. For some reason, it's suspicious for a waiter to be carrying a knife. It's a bit strange. But once you've got that, we're going to throw a coin in this room here, just about there. That's going to distract the bodyguard that's just on the landing. Sorry, not the landing. What's that? Balcony. It's a balcony. There we go. Get it together, freeze. I swear. There we go. And once we've done that, we're going to subdue him. Pick up his weapon. And then drag him down here towards the corner. Because we're doing that just because we want to distract the second guard out here. So we're going to throw the coin just on towards the left as well. We don't want to do it towards the middle or the right because there's an NPC down below who's a Hawkeye, and sometimes she does see you subdue this guard, so you just need to be careful with that. So I did it more towards the left, but making sure that guard doesn't see the body inside the room. Once we've subdued him, we're going to pick up his weapon and the coin, and drag his body, but this time we're going to put it behind the sofa. Our target is going to come in here, so we have to make sure that he doesn't see these bodies. Because we are setting up a trap for him, so that's the reason why we don't want him to see the bodies. As long as they're nice and hidden from the door, you're good to go. So what we're going to do from this point is place the 2 coins right here. How you do that is you use shoulder buttons on your controller and push either the Y button or the triangle button. That is how you place weapons, place coins. Again, I'm not sure how you do it on PC, because even though I do play on PC, I use controller, so I'm not sure what the keys are for that. You'd have to check your options on that. But at this point, all we're going to do now is wait for our target to come into the room, and that's that gives us a chance to take him out. He can what he could do once he stands up. He can either come in here straight away, or alternatively, they'll both walk away, and this is going to take about 9 minutes. It takes a long time. So you might get lucky and he'll come in here straight away. But if you're unlucky, you'd have to wait a little bit more longer. But fortunately for me, he came in the room straight away. His wife goes to the restaurant area, so we need to be quick taking this guy out. He's going to see the coin on the floor. He'll see the second coin as well. We're going to close the door behind him, take out the knife. Melee kill him. Make sure you have at least 1 coin on you. Drag his body over here to make sure that his body doesn't get seen through the door. Close the door behind you as you go through it. Quickly go over here. Take out your coin and throw it in front of the freezer.
Okay, weird sound.
She's going to come over to investigate. And when we have our opportunity, without trying to get anyone spotting us, take out the kitchen knife, use it on your target, and hide her in the closet. Not closet, the freezer. I'm getting all my words wrong today in this video. That's what you get for 2 hours sleeping at night. So once we've done that, head to an exit, and we've got ourselves a nice silent assassin rating with all the optional objectives. Level 3 is where it gets all spicy, and I'm not a fan of sticking to the optional objective for the level 3, and I'll explain in a second, because level 3 is a bit of a ball breaker. But yeah, that's Silent Assassin for level 2. I think, well, you can make your own mind up whether you think level 1 or level 2 is harder. I personally think the first one is more tricky than the second, but that's my opinion. But moving on to level 3, I'm not going to go for the optional objective, purely because it's difficult enough already with the random elements of it and the super enforcer NPCs that is surrounding the target, so I'm not going to go for the optional objective for this one. You're still going to get Silent Assassin, you just won't get 5 stars, so that's the only downside to it. It's just not worth basically having to knock everybody out in the group just for the sake of trying to get him on his own, and he doesn't ever appear on his own. It's very difficult to manipulate him as well. So what I decided to do is do my original method and use a propane flask on him. So what we're going to do from the very start is turn off that generator right there and then turn it back on. We are going to acquire ourselves a disguise, because we're going to need it for this one. We also have a second objective of stealing the ledger, so we need to go into the house. So we're going to subdue this guard, and we're going to drag him and put him in the nearby crate. So yeah, this is still the default loadout, and it's still Silent Assassin. It's just I'm not completing the optional objective of doing it with a melee weapon, because, as I said, it's without equipment. I would say this is pretty much impossible. It's not impossible, but I'm just not going to... It's not worth adding these extra difficulty to this walkthrough for new players. The whole point of me doing a default loadout guides are to help newer players that don't have any equipment, and if I'm doing stuff that's way too overcomplicated just to get it down, there's no point. I may as well just show you a method that will get you a Silent Assassin and you'll be done and get out of there. So grab this propane flask. You're going to want the target to be hovering around this area. If he's not hovering around this area, that means he's walking elsewhere. Once we're at that point, we're just going to drop that propane flask in the position I just did it, near the first puddle of the 3. We're going to shoot it once, just to make sure that gas is coming out of it. But yeah, if he's walking in a different direction, it's obviously not going to work, and you're going to have to restart. It's just a randomness to it, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. But once he's real close to the propane flask, shoot it. That'll take him out for an accident kill, and you'll still retain a silent assassin, because even though the body is found, accident kills and poison kills don't follow that same rule, so you can still get those bodies found if you're using an accident kill or a poison kill. So as you can see in the top left corner, your optional objective is now crossed out, because we didn't use a lethal melee. It doesn't matter, we've still got silent assassin. And that's what matters really. Next we're going to grab this crowbar right here, and take this disguise. Now we need to get into the house. Just make sure we avoid the camera before you go through the main door. We are not going to take out the evidence, so just make sure you do avoid that camera. We're going to make sure the landing is clear up there. It is. I forgot they moved that guard in that room over there. Use the crowbar on this door. That guard will come back in that room, but around this area momentarily. Make sure this room is clear as well. So, like, there is a guard in the room, just make sure that he has his back to you before you break open that safe. And just be careful exiting the room here. I'm doing this. I'm pretty much rushing through this a little bit, but you can obviously just take it a lot more slower than I'm going. No, I've taken boat exits on the first two exits, so what I'm going to do is take the boat exit for this one as well. It's over there on the, is it the eastern section, the eastern side? So that's where we're going to go. I don't recommend exiting via the south exit, because there's a camera just there, and there's two guards, so I would rather not risk getting spotted by the camera at this point. So there we go. Once we've exited the mission here on our boat, we will have achieved Silent Assassin. It may not be 5 stars because we didn't complete the optional objective by taking the target out with a melee weapon, but good luck trying to do that with just your default loadout. I'm sure it's definitely possible when you've got emetic devices, or a emetic seeker one, or the emetic grenades and stuff like that. I'm sure it's definitely possible with those items, but without them, with just your fireball iron coins, it's an extremely difficult task to do, especially showing you how to do it as well for new players. But this will unlock you the Shashka A33 gold after completing this Elusive Target Arcade. This is what it looks like in game, and statistically it's the same as the regular Shashka, but there's nothing special about it, unfortunately. It is powerful, but it's got so much recoil. It's just not accurate enough, in my opinion, for what it is. I feel like these assault rifles don't really have a place in the game, unless you find all this stuff fun. If you want to go around the map and just cause a lot of chaos and stuff like that, but you are going to run out of ammo fast, and not every map's going to have guards that have assault rifle ammo, so again, you need to be careful with that. But I don't know, it's not really my style, this you know, loud weapons with assault rifles kind of business. I'm more of a stealth guy, so this is not my style at all. But if this is your style and you just like to mess around and just shoot people with the loud weapons, then you might enjoy this. That's going to do it for this video, so thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop a like on the video if it helped you out, and subscribe if you are new to the channel, and hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos and live streams, and consider supporting me on Patreon, or even becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button below, or clicking the link in the description. Shout out to my Psycho Assassin members, Bedry, Andrew Phillips, Wandering Wendy, Constantine Mueller, Mark Davis, and Paul at Home, who are becoming top tier Psycho Assassin members, and still supporting me after all this time. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Cheers.